broadcasting of their proceedings is something that does not usually happen. The last time the Supreme Court did hold a public hearing in terms of a live broadcast was the 2020 election petition filed by NDC presidential candidate in that election, John Dramani Mahama. Today, the court is set to hear some two cases filed against the Anti-LGBTQ bill. We know that broadcaster and lawyer Richard Alaska has filed against challenging the constitutionality of the bill that was passed by Parliament. There's also another case by researcher Dr. Amanda Odoi. And so the Supreme Court has listed those cases to be heard today. And today, the Attorney General had written to the Chief Justice requesting for a live audience. And in fact, let me read the letter from the Attorney General. It says, respectfully, in view of the public interest in the cases concerning the anti-LGBTQ bill, I would like to recommend that the media, including radio and television, be given full access to the relevant courts to undertake coverage of all proceedings in those cases concerning the bill. And so that is the request that went to the Chief Justice by the Attorney General. We have not heard officially from the Chief Justice yet if she has granted this, but this morning, cameras have actually been allowed into the court. I don't remember the last time I did a live from the Supreme Court pews. You can see the judges and parties to the case who have all taken their seat, awaiting the Chief Justice and the bench to come in and administer these cases that have been filed against the constitutionality of that controversial anti-LGBTQ bill. But today, it appears to be so. We will hear from the Chief Justice officially when she comes in with the bench as to why she has allowed cameras to come in here. We've seen international broadcasters, a number of Ghanaian media houses setting up stage here in the Supreme Court building to allow this. So very soon, when the bench comes, we will get to know the panel, the number of judges who are going to hear these cases against the anti-LGBTQ bill. One, the Richard Alaska case, the Dr. Amanda Odoi case. We are also yet to know whether the court will consolidate those two cases and hear them together. And so all those information that we'll get to know later on. But the big news is that those cases, I should say, will be broadcast live. And in fact, on Joy News, we are going to beam those proceedings live from the Supreme Court. The two bills, the two cases, I should say, against the controversial anti-LGBTQ bill, the fight against the executive and the Parliament of Ghana as to whether or not the president should sign this. The president has said that because of these cases filed against the anti-LGBTQ bill, he's unable to sign it because of the application for injunction. Today, we expect ordinarily that the application for injunction will be heard by the Supreme Court, and then the substantive cases will also follow. But Benjamin, that is the information from the Supreme Court now. The Attorney General had requested that the Chief Justice allow live proceedings of those two cases because of what he calls the significant public interest in those cases. The Chief Justice appeared to have granted that request because the security here at the Supreme Court have allowed journalists in with their cameras, with their recorders that ordinarily are not allowed in, and that is why we are able to beam these proceedings from the Supreme Court live. And so the course list is expected to begin unfolding at 9:30 a.m. this morning, where a number of cases concerning the anti-LGBTQ bill and other cases will be heard. The Attorney General has not yet taken his seat, but I see a senior state attorney already seated. Lawyers for the Speaker of Parliament, Thaddeus Sori, is in. I've seen Isan Kuma. I've also seen lawyer, the John Mohammed's lawyer. I don't know which particular brief he's handling in court today. Tony Lita, is also seated. Justice Sai, the former Attorney General, Marietta Brew, appear upon, is also seated. So a number of high-ranking lawyers and very prominent lawyers all in court today for some of these very important cases that the Supreme Court is set to hear today, Benjamin. And since 2020, this will be the first case that the Supreme Court is allowing a live broadcast, and it appears we are ready to witness history, Benjamin.
They're reporting